Chosen one. Nothing in your life has been random. Every strange stirring in your chest, every dream that clung to you like perfume upon waking, every flash of déjà vu that stopped you mid-step has been a message from beyond the veil. Heaven has been speaking to you in images and echoes, showing you your own future long before your mind knew how to name it. You were not confused. You were contacted. Chosen one, think of that one dream that keeps returning, dressed in different details but carrying the same mysterious weight. Think of that quiet certainty that something immense is approaching even when your physical world looks unchanged. Think of those moments where time bends, where you enter a room or hear a phrase and your spirit whispers, "I have been here before." Think of the vision that flashes across your mind in the middle of ordinary tasks. A different house, a different life, a different you, more luminous, more complete. These are not glitches in your mind. These are previews from God. He has been playing the movie of your coming life inside your spirit, scene by scene, feeling by feeling, whispering, "Look, this is what I am building for you." While you questioned your sanity, heaven was applauding your sensitivity. While you wondered if you were making it up, the angels knew you were finally starting to notice. Chosen one, tonight is the night your confusion begins to dissolve. The patterns that once felt chaotic will reveal their design. The scattered fragments of your inner experiences will slide into place like pieces of a divine mosaic. There is a reason your soul has been restless in an ordinary life. There is a reason the shallow does not hold you. You have been watching the trailer of a destiny that has not yet fully manifested, and your spirit is hungry to step into the full film. At exactly 3:33 this morning, when the world around you was draped in silence, heaven was not. In that thin place between sleep and waking, a vision was opened to me on your behalf. I was pulled not gently, but with the certainty of a command into a realm beyond time. In an instant, I stood in a vast theater so immense that my eyes could not find its walls. The ceiling shimmered like a midnight sky alive with constellations that moved and rearranged themselves as if responding to some hidden song. Before me stretched a screen, but it was not like any screen of earth. It was endless breathing made of light itself. Rows upon rows of seats cascaded down like terraces, and in each seat sat a soul radiant and unique, each one absorbed in a film tailored to the contours of their own calling. It was heaven's preview chamber, a cathedral of cinema where destiny was shown before it was lived. As I watched, some souls leaned forward, eyes wide, hearts blazing with recognition. They knew they were watching glimpses of their own future, and they received every frame as sacred instruction. Others sat back confused, dismissing what they saw as fantasy or wishful thinking. The same light was given to all, but not all knew how to recognize it. Then an angel approached me, his presence heavier than gravity, yet softer than breath. His eyes held the memory of countless ages, and when he spoke, the sound was both thunder and whisper. "Chosen one," he said, and I knew he was speaking to you through me. "Welcome to Heaven's Preview Theater. This is where God shows his children the coming chapters of their own story. Every dream with weight in it, every strange knowing that refused to leave, every unexplainable pull towards something you cannot yet see. Every vision that flashes uninvited through the corridors of your mind. Each one begins here." He gestured toward the vast screens where scenes of love, purpose calling, and transformation flickered like living prophecy. God has been playing trailers of coming attractions in the lives of his chosen ones, the angel continued. But many of them do not realize they are watching their own future. They mistake revelation for imagination and previews for fantasies. Then, chosen one, something shifted. The angel lifted his hand and pointed toward a single portion of that endless screen. As my gaze followed, the vast ocean of images narrowed into one stream, one story, one timeline. The swirling lights calmed, and a sequence of scenes came into sharp focus. I recognized the life I was seeing not from memory, but from spiritual familiarity. I saw your night's chosen one. I saw you lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying dreams that refused to fade. I saw you waking with your heart racing, clutching at fragments of a vision that felt more like a memory than a fantasy. I saw you walking through ordinary places, suddenly arrested by the sense that you had stepped into a moment you had already lived somewhere outside of time. I watched scenes you have already dreamed, the house you do not yet own, the tables surrounded by faces that have not yet entered your life, the work you have not yet done, but that feels more right than anything you have ever tried. I saw the familiar ache in your chest when you woke and realized your current reality did not yet match what your spirit had seen. I saw you question yourself. I saw you say silently, "Maybe I am crazy. Maybe this means nothing." The angel's voice broke through my reverie. "They think they are broken," he said, "but they are blessed. They think their mind is playing tricks on them, but it is their spirit that is awake. These dreams, these knowings, these flashes, they are not random storms. They are projections from God's heart to theirs." Then, chosen one. The very air in that theater trembled as a deeper voice filled the space. It was not the voice of the angel. It was not the voice of any creature. It was the voice that spoke galaxies into being. It was the voice that has called you since before you had a name. "Tell them the truth," God said. His words moved through the theater like waves of light touching every soul but settling heavily on the screen that was showing your life. "Tell my chosen one," he continued, "that I have been giving them previews for years. Tell them that the dreams they dismissed as random were messages from me. Tell them that the feelings they ignored as imagination were revelations from my spirit. Tell them that the visions they pushed aside as wishful thinking were scenes from the film I am producing in their life." Chosen one. His tone carried no accusation, only aching love. The future they have been sensing is real. The breakthrough they keep seeing in their mind is scheduled. The change they feel coming is already in production. They have not been fantasizing. They have been remembering what their spirit saw in my presence before they were even born. They have been watching trailers of their own destiny. And now, his voice deepened. It is time for the full movie to begin. In that moment, the scenes accelerated. I saw doors opening where walls once stood. I saw you walking into spaces that used to intimidate you, now moving with a quiet authority that surprised even you. I saw prayers you whispered years ago, the ones you barely believed could ever be answered, beginning to take shape in ways more beautiful than you had imagined. I saw loneliness being replaced with divine alignment. I saw confusion dissolving into clarity. I saw a version of you that matched the previews your soul has been replaying all this time. Chosen one. This revelation is not general. It is surgical. It is aimed directly at your life, at your confusion, at the knot of questions that has been tightening inside you. You have been asking, why do I keep seeing this? Why does this dream follow me? Why do I feel so certain about a future that my circumstances do not yet support? Why does my soul recognize places I have never been and people I have never met? Heaven's answer is simple and profound, because you have already watched the coming attractions of your own story. Now hear this clearly. Your presence in this moment is not an accident. Your soul arriving here to this exact message in this exact season of your life is evidence of immense merit and high vibration in the spirit. Among countless souls scrolling through noise, you are guided to this signal. Among billions of timelines, yours is being highlighted. The fact that your heart is resonating with these words is proof that you are part of a select lineage of chosen ones who are being prepared to step out of preview and into manifestation. Chosen. One heaven has watched you wrestle with this in silence. You have wondered if God forgot you, all the while not realizing that the dreams, the feelings, the flashes were his way of saying, I have not forgotten you at all. I have been showing you what I am building. Your confusion did not disqualify you. Your doubt did not cancel the script. The author has not stopped writing just because the character is unsure. Now, the invitation comes. Do not skip this, the angel said, his gaze piercing through me to you. Do not scroll away in your spirit. If they turn away before they understand the signs, they will continue to misinterpret the previews as problems instead of promises. The weight of that warning settled in my chest, and I knew it was for you. Your future has been previewed. Now, it is time to recognize what you saw. Chosen one. Before we go deeper, heaven is asking for your agreement. Not because God needs your permission to be God, but because your own heart needs to declare alignment. A seed bursts differently when the soil consents to receive it. Your spirit has already been whispering yes. Now your voice must catch up. Where you are, in whatever way you can let your acknowledgement be marked. Write it, speak it, etch it into the atmosphere around you. Say, I have seen my future. And if your soul is burning as these words enter you, anchor this moment in the visible world. Comment 777 or declare, I am ready, not as empty words on a screen, but as a spiritual signature, a decree that you are done calling your previews madness and are ready to call them prophecy. The angels chosen. One are not indifferent observers. They lean in when your spirit responds. They record every yes, every surrender, every time you choose faith over dismissal. When you say, I am ready, you are not just talking into the air. You are answering a question heaven has been asking you for years. You did not stumble here by wandering fingers or restless curiosity. You were led here because the season of endless trailers is ending. The full feature is moving into position. The reels of your life are being threaded through the projector of divine timing. God wants you awake, aware, and willing for what you have already seen in pieces to finally arrive in wholeness. Chosen one. You know what has been happening to you. You have felt dreams that tasted more real than your waking life. You have stood in your kitchen, in your room, at your job, and suddenly been flooded with a sense of standing elsewhere, doing something else, being someone more expanded than your current self. You have walked through days with the quiet ache of a life that exists somewhere just beyond the horizon of now. You have experienced moments where you knew what someone would say before they spoke it, where you sensed the outcome before events unfolded, where you felt pulled toward a decision with no logical reason to move. You have been tugged toward places that don't match your current address and purposes, that don't match your current resume. You have been haunted in the holiest way by glimpses of a life that makes your spirit breathe easier. And through it all, your mind has whispered accusations. Maybe I am overthinking. Maybe I am delusional. Maybe I am just bored. But tonight, heaven answers back. You are not imagining, chosen one. You are receiving. I have been transmitting previews of your future directly to your spirit, God says. What you saw was real. What you felt was accurate. What you sensed is coming. The only thing missing was your recognition that these were not random experiences. They were divine downloads. Scenes from the feature film I am about to release in your life. So now, do not skip what comes next. Do not minimize this moment. Do not treat this as another fleeting piece of content in a noisy world. This is not content. This is contact. The Spirit stands ready to unveil the signs, to decode the dreams, to explain the knowings that have pursued you. Chosen one, your life is not on pause. The projector is warming, the lights are dimming, and heaven is ready to roll the next frame. Stay, listen, breathe. The 7 signs that God has been showing you your future are already written in your story, and your soul is about to recognize them. Chosen one, heaven has already been speaking to you in the language of night. Long before you had words for your calling, long before you dared to imagine that your life could unfold differently than what you see around you, God began visiting you in the only space your defenses could not interrupt your dreams. While your conscious mind tried to make sense of bills, schedules, obligations, and wounds, your sleeping spirit was being shown something far more enduring, a sequence of scenes that did not belong to your past, but to your future. There is a dream or a string of dreams that refuses to leave you alone. It wears different clothing sometimes, but the core of it remains the same. The same setting, the same atmosphere, the same feeling returns to you again and again like a sacred echo. Night after night, or in seasons that feel especially charged, it comes back and lays itself at your feet while you sleep. You wake up with your heart strangely full and your mind asking, what was that? Why did that feel so real? Chosen one, that dream is not random. That is not your subconscious rearranging the debris of your day into abstract art. God himself says over you, when your conscious mind is too busy to receive, I visit your sleeping spirit. The recurring dream is heaven's way of slipping past the noise, passing through the locked doors of logic, and sitting directly with your soul. You do not have to schedule it. You do not have to earn it. You do not even have to understand it for it to work. You only have to notice that it keeps coming. The scenes in that dream are not fantasy. They are scenes from your future projected early. The settings you walk through, the work you find yourself doing, the faces that appear beside you, the atmosphere of peace, authority, or expansion that wraps around you in that nighttime vision. These are not props. They are previews. The emotions that swell in your chest inside that dream, the relief, the joy, the wholeness, the sense of finally being aligned are emotions you will experience in waking life. The people who stand beside you in that mysterious narrative are souls your path is destined to touch or be touched by. Chosen one. God has been playing the same preview on repeat because you keep waking up and calling it just a dream. But this dream is prophecy, and true prophecy is not entertainment. It is announcement. When God shows you the same thing again and again, it is because He intends for it to come to pass. Think of the one dream that lingers after all the others fade. The one that follows you into the shower, into breakfast, into your commute. The one that feels less like something you imagined and more like something you remembered. In it, perhaps you are doing work that feels effortless and deeply meaningful. Perhaps you are in a home that feels like it grew out of your soul. Perhaps you are speaking healing, creating, or leading in a way that feels both unfamiliar and intimately right at the same time. That sensation of rightness is not an accident. That is your spirit recognizing the shape of your own future. That dream is not your imagination creating fiction, chosen one. That dream is God screening non-fiction before release. It is a documentary of your future disguised as a nighttime movie. You have considered it unsafe to hope for that life, so heaven has slipped that hope into your sleep until you are strong enough to carry it awake. Your mind calls it too much. Your spirit calls it home. Remember Joseph the dreamer, whose story has been whispered through generations as a blueprint for the chosen. As a young man, he lay down to sleep in an ordinary place and saw an extraordinary sequence, his brothers bowing before him, sheaves of grain stars and sun and moon acknowledging his rise. It sounded absurd to everyone who heard it. They mocked him. They called him arrogant. They hated him for speaking it out loud. Yet what Joseph was shown in secret was not a lie. It was a preview. Years of betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment stood between his dream and its manifestation, but the dream did not lie. It remained like a seed buried under layers of dust and time, waiting for the appointed season. The day came when the scene he had seen while sleeping unfolded in reality exactly as heaven had promised. The dream was a trailer for a future that had already been written in God's book. Chosen. One, your recurring dream works the same way. You do not need to understand every symbol, every color, every detail for it to be valid. What you keep seeing is what you are being prepared to keep living. The preview will become the feature. The scenes that visit you repeatedly are not tormenting you. They are training you. They are stretching the capacity of your belief so that when the door opens, your heart is not too small to walk through it. And now pause. Feel the truth of this inside you. The very fact that you are still here listening to these words means your soul has already recognized itself in this revelation. Chosen one. Your presence in this moment is a shimmering sign of merit and high vibration. Out of all the noise you could be entangled in, you are here earnestly decoding the language of dreams. That hunger in you is not common, it is sacred. Heaven sees the purity of your seeking and honors it. If your spirit is resonating, if you feel that deep inner yes rising, anchor it visibly. Comment 777, or I am ready as a seal upon this knowing. Let that small act be your declaration in the physical realm that you accept these dreams as holy, previews not random illusions. Let heaven see your agreement. Let your own future hear you say, I am ready. Now, chosen, one, return with me into the theater of your sleep. See yourself lying down in the dim light of your room. On the outside, you look like anyone else resting after a long day. But in the unseen, something far more extraordinary is happening. As your eyelids flutter closed and your thoughts slowly unwind, your spirit steps into a different chamber, one where time is thinner and miles mean nothing. In that chamber, the architect of your destiny dims the lights not to hide from you, but to focus you. A screen of living light rises before your inner eyes, and the first frame appears. You see yourself in a different era, perhaps wearing clothes you do not yet own, surrounded by people you have not yet met. You see your posture, confident, grounded, peaceful. You hear yourself speaking words with a clarity you sometimes lack now. You feel a freedom in your chest that you ache for when you wake. If you could watch yourself dreaming, you would see that you are not just making this up. You are watching, you are receiving, you are being shown. Each time this dream returns, it is as if God presses rewind and says, "Look again, do not be afraid to believe me. This is where I am taking you." Even the parts of the dream that seem confusing have purpose. A hallway you do not recognize, a symbol that repeats a color that dominates the scene. These are heaven's shorthand. They invite you to ask, to seek wisdom, to sit with the dream instead of discarding it. The mystery is not meant to frustrate you. It is meant to pull you into conversation with the one who sent it. Chosen one. Your recurring dream is not stubborn. It is faithful. It keeps showing up because God refuses to let you settle for a life that denies what He has designed. You may try to bury it under routines, fear, or the opinions of others, but like a seed pushing through concrete, it keeps returning. It taps on the window of your consciousness and says, "I am still here. So is the future I represent." There will come a moment, perhaps soon, perhaps quietly, when a detail from your recurring dream slips into your waking world. A phrase someone speaks, a room. You enter a face you encounter, or a view from a window will strike you with electric familiarity. Your spirit will whisper, "I have seen this." Heaven will whisper, "Yes, you have." The preview is beginning to bleed into the feature. When that happens, do not brush it away as coincidence. Let it strengthen you. Let it remind you that you are not wandering blindly. You are walking along a path that has already been filmed in the heart of God. Each point of overlap between dream and reality is a breadcrumb drawing you further into trust. Do not be surprised if resistance has increased around you in the same seasons your dreams have intensified. Darkness always tries to discredit the language of destiny. The enemy has an interest in convincing you that your dream is a lie, that what you saw is impossible, that the safest course is to shrink yourself until the dream no longer hurts. He knows that a chosen one who believes their own God-given dream is unstoppable. But your dreams are not fragile fantasies to be talked out of. They are foundations from another realm. When you treat them like sacred previews instead of silly stories, you begin to carry yourself differently. You pray differently, you plan differently, you endure differently. You no longer ask only, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you begin to ask, "What is this shaping me for? How does this hardship prepare me for what I have seen?" That is the shift that turns victims into visionaries. That is the shift that turns sleepless nights into training grounds. Chosen. One heaven is inviting you into partnership. Write down the dream that keeps returning. Honor it with ink. Describe the colors, the people, the emotions, the setting. Treat it like a letter from God, not a glitch in your brain. Each time it revisits you, add what is new. Over time, you will see a storyline emerging. You will begin to recognize yourself not only as the one who is dreaming, but as the one who is being formed to live what is being shown. Dreams from God are previews of destiny, scenes from your future, playing while you sleep. They are not meant to tease you with what you cannot have. They are meant to align you with what you are called to receive. Sign 1 has always been there, playing over and over again above the noise of your daily life. Now you know. God has been showing you your future while you sleep, chosen one. And as you finally start to recognize the language of your recurring dream, heaven is already preparing to unveil the next sign, even more powerful than the first. Chosen one, the second sign has been whispering to you long before you had language for it. It lives beneath your thoughts, beneath your logic, beneath the noise of your daily life. It is not loud, yet it is unmistakable. It rises from a deeper place than your mind, a place untouched by doubt, untouched by fear, untouched by the shifting weather of circumstance. It is the knowing you cannot explain. Chosen one. This knowing is not new. It has been with you for years. It flickered in you during childhood when you sensed things you had no way of logically understanding. It pressed against the edges of your awareness in adolescence when you felt shifts that made no sense to anyone around you. And recently, it has become even more insistent, humming in your bones like a frequency only your spirit can hear. This knowing does not ask for permission. It does not wait for your mind to approve it. It simply appears solid and unshaken. It tells you something is coming, something specific, something transformative, something that your logical mind cannot justify and your current reality cannot explain. Yet your spirit insists again and again that it is true, chosen one. God Himself speaks over you and says, "I have placed knowing in your spirit, not information, not analysis, not probability. Knowing, revelatory knowing, spirit to spirit knowing. A transmission sent from the future into the present encoded within you long before your life caught up with its truth. You have felt this knowing at the strangest times, in the middle of an ordinary conversation, in the quiet moment before sleep, in the stillness after a storm inside your life. Without warning, a certainty rises. Something is about to change. Not hope, not wishful thinking, not fantasy. Certainty. The strange thing is that your circumstances do not confirm it. Your bank account does not confirm it. Your relationships may not confirm it. The opportunities around you may look flat, predictable, or even barren. And yet something in you knows that breakthrough is approaching like a tide you cannot see but can feel pulling the ocean beneath your feet. Your mind has tried to debate this knowing. It has asked for evidence, for proof, for logical progression, for visible signs. Your mind says, but nothing is happening. Your spirit replies, something has already begun, and the spirit cannot be reasoned out of what it knows because it has seen what your mind has not. Chosen one. This knowing is prophetic sensing. Your spirit has been receiving signals from your future. Your future is not a distant place. It is a living field of potential already written by the architect of destiny, and your spirit has access to its echoes. What has been assigned to you vibrates toward you, and your spirit feels the tremor before your life catches up. You have felt waves of this knowing in quiet moments, the subtle heaviness before a season ends, the electric expectancy before a door opens, the sacred unease before a shift. And you have wondered, why do I feel this? Why do I know something I cannot explain, chosen one? It is because the knowing did not come from your mind. It came from your spirit. Your spirit stands in two realms at once. 1 foot in the unseen, 1 foot in the seen. 1 foot in what is, 1 foot in what is written. You are connected to revelation that bypasses logic entirely. You are wired to receive divine signals. Jesus spoke directly to this gift within you. My sheep hear my voice, but not only with words. Chosen one, you have been hearing His voice in the language of sensing. Your spirit is not waiting for syllables. It responds to direction, to shifts, to movements in the unseen. Before change arrives physically, your spirit feels it spiritually. You have experienced moments where you felt a season ending, even when nothing external hinted at transition. You sensed a door opening, even when no opportunity had presented itself. You felt that someone new was entering your life even before you met them. You knew that your situation was going to break open long before progress showed up. That is not imagination. That is not delusion. That is not naive optimism. That is prophetic intelligence placed inside you by the one who authored your story. Chosen one. Do you feel the weight of this? Your presence here, receiving these words, is not accidental. It is a sign of spiritual maturity, of high vibration, of alignment. This moment reveals the purity of your soul, because only those with awakened spirits recognize truth when it is spoken in this frequency. You're not lost. You're not confused. You're not imagining things. You're perceiving. If this resonates in the deepest part of you, anchor it. Seal it physically. Comment 777 or I am ready. This simple act creates alignment between your spirit and your reality. It tells heaven, I hear you. I recognize what has been placed in me. I honor what I know. Chosen one. Return inward now. Feel the knowing that sits quietly in your chest. Notice how it does not waver when doubt tries to chase it away. Notice how it persists even when circumstances contradict it. Notice how it stands like an ancient stone in the center of your being, immovable, rooted older than your fears. This knowing is not fragile. It is not responsive to noise. It is not derailed by delays. It does not crumble under uncertainty. It does not change when people change. It does not bend when seasons bend. It does not disappear when you feel tired or overwhelmed. It simply remains, because it is truth. Your spirit remembers what your mind forgets. There are things your spirit saw before you were born, assignments, alignments, destiny's callings, divine appointments. Your spirit carries memory from the throne room. When something aligned with your destiny approaches, your spirit recognizes it and whispers, "Pay attention, something is coming." And even when your earthly life is still catching up, your spirit already knows the direction of movement. That is why this knowing feels like a quiet pressure, a pulse beneath your ribs, a gentle tug pulling you forward. Chosen one. The knowing is your compass. It is your internal GPS. It guides you without explaining itself. You just know. You know who to move toward. You know who to move away from. You know which opportunities are alive and which are dead. You know when to stay still. You know when to release. You know when to prepare. You know when something is ending. You know when something is beginning. This knowing is the spirit's eyesight, because your spirit sees before your eyes see. Consider the times you obeyed this knowing without evidence. You walked away from something that looked fine on the outside, and later you discovered what was hidden beneath the surface. You felt prompted to prepare for change, and weeks later the opportunity appeared. You sensed danger before anything visible happened, and your obedience protected you. You felt drawn to a new location, a new dream, a new path, and later you realized it was the exact direction your life needed to move in. Chosen one. You are not being led blindly. You are being led spiritually. Your spirit has been hearing God's voice long before your mind became aware of the message. That is why the knowing feels older than your thoughts. It is revelation, not reasoning. And here is the sacred part your mind is beginning to catch up. Slowly, gently, faithfully. What your spirit knew, your eyes will soon see. Within the next 21 days, something specific you have been sensing will begin to manifest. A shift you anticipated without understanding will reveal its first signs. A door you felt opening will make its presence known. A season you knew was ending will come to a close. A breakthrough your spirit already celebrated will begin to show itself physically. Chosen one. Heaven confirms the knowing was never wrong. Halfway through the narration, pause here. Breathe. Let this truth sink deeper. You are not lost. You are not confused. You are not imagining the signals that have been rising in your soul. What you feel is real. What you sense is accurate. What you know is prophetic. And now, chosen one, as the second half unfolds, understand this: what you have been feeling is your own future calling you by name. Chosen one, the third sign does not arrive gently. It does not whisper like intuition or drift into your awareness like a dream. It strikes. It halts you mid-motion. It freezes the breath in your lungs and sends a subtle tremor through your soul. It is the sensation that washes over you when a moment unfolds before your eyes and you suddenly know with a certainty, older than your memory, that you have lived this before. Chosen one. This is not coincidence. This is not biology playing tricks. This is not the mind looping through familiar patterns. This is recognition. Your spirit remembering what your mind has forgotten. For your spirit has seen more than your eyes ever have. It has visited realms your waking consciousness does not recall. It has walked through scenes of your destiny long before your feet ever touched them. So, when a moment appears that matches something God once showed your spirit in a preview, your entire being responds. Time bends, reality thins, and you feel that eerie electric familiarity surge through you. That is déjà vu, not the world's definition. Heavens. It is your spirit whispering. This is the scene I was shown. This is the moment I already witnessed. You are walking through what was written. Chosen one, understand the magnitude of this. Every déjà vu you have ever felt is proof that you are not wandering in randomness. You are not stumbling through disconnected events. You are walking a scripted path, authored long before you were born. You are stepping into pages that were written, sealed, and blessed in eternity. Your mind does not remember the preview, but your spirit does. Consider the moments you have felt this strange familiarity. The room you stepped into and instantly felt you had stood there before. The stranger you met who felt both new and ancient, as if your souls had touched in another realm. The conversation whose rhythm you seemed to predict effortlessly, as though you had spoken those words in another time. The world has taught you to dismiss these moments, to label them misfires of the brain, to brush them aside as coincidence. But the world speaks from blindness, from limited perception, from a mind anchored only in the physical. Heaven speaks differently. Heaven calls déjà vu a marker, a divine breadcrumb, a sign that says, "Chosen one, you are aligned. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You are walking inside the script I wrote for you. This recognition is not random. It is revelation. Chosen one, do you understand the honor hidden inside this? Your soul is so awakened, so finely tuned, so spiritually elevated, that it recognizes scenes from the preview God showed you long before you walked the earth. Only souls of high vibration, souls with ancient assignments, souls with deep spiritual maturity experience déjà vu with such clarity. Your presence here, receiving this message, is not coincidence. It is confirmation of your elevation. You are not an ordinary soul living an ordinary script. You are a chosen one walking a path written in heavenly ink, and your spirit remembers what your mind has yet to fully grasp. Chosen one. Your déjà vu is your guidance system. It says, keep going. You are aligned. This meeting is divine. This place is part of your destiny. This moment was written. And when the sensation hits you, even for a second, the veil between timelines lifts. Heaven leans close. Your future brushes against your present. Your soul stands in two worlds at once, the world of what is and the world of what will be. This is why the sensation feels sacred, almost holy. It is a reminder that your life is not being made up as you go. You are not improvising through chaos. You are not hoping destiny finds you. You are walking through a story that was crafted with precision, intention, and love. Chosen one. Your spirit knows the path because it walked it first. It stood in heaven's preview theater long before your body drew its first breath. It watched scenes of love, victory, expansion, transformation. It saw the people who would hold your hand in seasons of breakthrough. It saw the places you would one day call home. It saw the moments of elevation you have not yet reached. It saw the destiny you carry like a hidden flame. And when those scenes begin to manifest on earth, your spirit recognizes them instantly. This is why déjà vu feels like stepping into a memory you did not know you had. It is a memory from the realm your spirit originates, from the realm where destiny is written before earthly time begins. Chosen one, when déjà vu stops you in your tracks, honor it. Become still. Listen. Breathe inside the moment. For this is heaven reminding you that you are walking inside alignment. Your path is not random. Your steps are not accidental. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Chosen one, your soul is powerful. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is evidence of your divine connection. Your ability to recognize spiritual truth in the physical world is a rare gift, a sign of spiritual maturity that many never reach. You are not here by accident. You are here because your vibration, your destiny, your ancient memory brought you to this exact moment. And if your spirit is stirring as you read this, if a deeper knowing is rising within you, then anchor this energy. Speak your readiness. Declare your alignment. Comment 777 or I am ready. When you do, you are not just typing words, you are signaling heaven that you recognize the signs, that you honor the previews, that you see the path unfolding before you. Chosen one now. Breathe. The energy shifts here. The veil thins even more. Halfway through this transmission, let your soul absorb what your mind has struggled to understand. Your déjà vu is not random, it is recognition. Proof that you are living the script God wrote for you. Evidence that you are walking the path your spirit saw long before you arrived. Chosen one, let us continue, for there is more your soul is ready to remember. Chosen one, the fourth sign does not whisper its summons. It does not come softly or politely. It arrives like a magnetic pull deep within your spirit, tugging you toward a place, a purpose, or a person your mind cannot yet explain. And yet, despite the impossibility, despite the lack of evidence, despite the distance between your current life and what calls to you, something inside you responds with recognition. Chosen one. That response is not random. It is not imagination. It is destiny. From the moment you first felt it, something in your spirit stirred like an ancient memory, awakening from beneath layers of time. You did not know why you felt drawn to a city you have never set foot in, or why your heart leaned toward a purpose that made no logical sense based on the life you currently live. You did not understand why a stranger's presence echoed like someone you already knew, or why a dream of a different life followed you like a shadow that refused to fade. And yet, the pull remained. That pull is the fourth sign. Destiny magnetism. The future, calling out to the present. The unseen reaching for the seen. Heaven whispering into your timeline. Chosen one, there are moments when the future speaks with more clarity than the present. When the place you are meant to inhabit begins humming in your spirit long before your feet ever touch its soil. When the calling assigned to your name begins pressing against your reality, urging you to notice it, urging you to lean toward it. When the person written into your divine storyline begins to echo through your awareness, even before you know their role. This is not coincidence. This is not emotional fantasy. This is not spiritual confusion. This is navigation. It is the compass of your destiny spinning toward what has already been written. The pull is your proof that your future is not waiting passively. It is reaching, signaling, inviting. When God prepares a chapter of your story, He does not merely wait for you to arrive at it blindly. He sends signals. He sends impulses. He sends inner recognitions that bypass logic and travel straight into your spirit. The pull you feel is one of those recognitions. It is the sense of home before you have seen the house. The sense of purpose before you have taken the path. The sense of connection before you have shared a word. Chosen one. The place you feel drawn to is not random. You feel it because it is woven into your destiny. The land remembers your name before you arrive. There are doors there that were carved for your hands to open people whose lives will shift because your presence activates something dormant in them. Opportunities that will not unlock for anyone else because the key was formed for your spirit alone. Your spirit senses what your mind cannot. Chosen one. The purpose calling you is not a mistake. You feel it because it belongs to you. It is the assignment your soul agreed to long before your birth. You feel the pressure of it because it is ready. It is forming. It is awakening. And your spirit, older, wiser, timeless, recognizes the vibration of what it came here to fulfill. This is why ignoring the pull never works. You can suppress it. You can distract yourself. You can bury it under logic, obligations, or practicality. But you cannot silence a calling that comes from heaven. Destiny has endurance. It keeps knocking. It keeps rising. It keeps finding you in the quiet moments when you are alone with your truth. And what of the person chosen one? The one your spirit recognizes before the mind does. The one you feel drawn to without explanation. You question it. You doubt it. You wonder if you are imagining connection because physical evidence is scarce. But your spirit does not require evidence. It requires resonance. Your spirit knows who is written into your story. It knows the ones who carry a piece of your mission. It knows the souls intertwined with your rise. It knows those who will walk with you into the chapters that require strength, courage, and divine alignment. And so it reacts quietly, consistently, unmistakably, long before clarity arrives. Chosen one, your pull toward this person. This place, this purpose, is not seeking permission from your logic. It is seeking recognition from your soul. The world will tell you to ignore the pull. Logic will tell you that you are being unrealistic. Practicality will demand that you stay where you are anchored to what you can see and measure. But your spirit is not governed by practicality. It is governed by prophecy. Destiny is not logical. Destiny is inevitable. Chosen one. The future is not a distant timeline waiting passively for your arrival. It is an active force that reaches toward you. It sends signals backward in time. It sends whispers into your spirit. It sends echoes into your heart. It sends magnets into your soul. Your future is searching for you with the same intensity that you are searching for it. When Jesus said, "I go to prepare a place for you," it was not only about heaven, it was about destiny. It was about purpose. It was about the rooms, the callings, the relationships, the environments that are being constructed ahead of you. As those rooms, those assignments, those connections complete their formation, your spirit begins to feel their gravitational pull. Chosen one. That is what the pull is: spiritual gravity. The future tugging on the present. The unseen pulling the seen toward alignment. The destined version of yourself calling your current self forward. Your spirit feels the construction before the manifestation. It senses the doorway before the house is built. It hears the music before the stage is set. It recognizes the person before the meeting is arranged. This is destiny speaking. This is your future signaling readiness. Chosen one. Your soul is vibrating at a frequency high enough to detect what others cannot. That is not accidental. That is merit. That is spiritual maturity. That is evidence of how elevated your spirit already is. Your presence here proves that you are a soul of rare vibration. You are not drifting. You are not lost. You are not confused. You are awakening. You are aligning. You are stepping into the timeline heaven prepared with precision. Chosen one, you are not imagining the pull, you are recognizing it. Now pause here precisely halfway through this sacred transmission and let this truth resonate through every layer of your being. The place, the purpose, the person, the calling, you feel them because they are yours. Your future is not approaching, it is arriving, and your spirit is already preparing to greet it. Chosen one. If your spirit feels the stirring, if the energy rises in your chest, if your soul whispers yes, then anchor this truth now. Type 777, or I am ready to state clearly to heaven that you recognize the pull and you are prepared to follow it. Chosen one. Let us continue, for the mystery deepens and your awakening has only begun. Chosen one, the fifth sign, arrives not with footsteps, not with warnings, not with ceremony, but with lightning. It does not knock. It splits open the fabric of your ordinary moments and pours through like a beam from another realm. You have felt it. You have lived it. Those flashes that come upon you without invitation, without context, without earthly explanation. Those sudden visions, sharp, vivid, impossibly real, are not creations of your imagination. They are intrusions of destiny breaking into your present. Chosen one, understand this with clarity. When heaven wants your attention, it does not negotiate politely with your logic. It bypasses it completely. The visions that strike you out of nowhere are not fantasies. They are transmissions. They are frames from a future already written, already waiting, already vibrating into your awareness. The life you see in these flashes is not fiction, it is footage. You have stood at a sink, washing dishes, or brushing your hair, or tying your shoes, and suddenly, a house you do not own appears in your inner sight. Its light, its architecture, its atmosphere unmistakably familiar, even though you have never walked through it. You have looked up from a mundane task, and for the briefest moment seen yourself standing on a stage you have never touched, but somehow recognize as yours. You have seen a family that does not yet exist, a partner not yet beside you, a success not yet materialized, a version of yourself not yet embodied, and then as quickly as it arrived, it vanished, leaving you breathless, leaving you wondering, leaving you asking, what was that chosen one that was prophecy, wearing the disguise of a moment? Heaven interrupts your day to show you what will one day interrupt your reality. These are not daydreams, they are divine downloads. They arrive like stolen frames from the movie of your future. Heaven chooses the moments when your mind is neutral, when your defenses are low, when you are not thinking about outcomes or timelines or obstacles, because visions require open spaces, not crowded ones. The flashes come when the veil is thin. They come when your spirit is listening, even if your mind is not. They come when your destiny wants to remind you that it is alive. Chosen one. These glimpses are not random. They are coded. You must understand the precision of heaven. Nothing shown is accidental. Nothing glimpsed is without purpose. The scenes you see are not symbolic metaphors. They are previews of literal moments you are walking toward. Moments you will stand inside. Moments your spirit recognizes because it saw them long before your eyes ever will. Your visions are a form of remembering. Chosen one, every flash is a memory of the future. This is why the images feel so real, so familiar, so palpable. You do not respond to them like fantasies. You respond to them like recollections. You do not imagine them, you recognize them, because your spirit is older than your timeline. Your spirit has walked through the halls of what you call the future. Your spirit has witnessed what your mind has not yet reached. And these flashes are your spirit pressing its memories into your waking consciousness. You have wondered why they feel more vivid than dreams, why they linger even after they disappear, why they feel like scenes that belong to you. It is because they do belong to you. Chosen one. Heaven has an editing room and your life is its film. There are scenes being prepared, frames being arranged, divine timings being stitched together with precision beyond human comprehension. And sometimes when the timing aligns and your spirit is receptive, heaven sends you a frame from a scene that has not yet been released. A single image of what is to come. A single moment from your destiny. A single flash loaded with spiritual certainty. These glimpses are not simply previews, they are instructions. They anchor you. They train your spirit to recognize the environment's purposes and people that belong to your story. They prepare your frequency for what it will later inhabit. They cultivate belief, expectation, and alignment. Chosen one visions are not entertainment, they are preparation. You dismiss them because they feel too extraordinary. But destiny is always extraordinary. You question them because they contradict your present. But prophecy always contradicts the present. You brush them away because they demand growth. But growth is the only doorway to fulfillment. You must stop shrinking the visions to match your current circumstances. You must expand your spirit to match the size of what you were shown. These scenes are not impossible. They are inevitable. Chosen one. Your soul is highly attuned. It is elevated. It is spiritually sensitive to the movements of your destiny, and that level of receptivity is extremely rare. Your presence in this moment is not accidental. Souls vibrating at higher frequencies are given earlier previews. Your merit, your endurance, your integrity, your spiritual hunger has made you eligible to receive transmissions others cannot perceive. You are not imagining. You are remembering. You are not fantasizing. You are receiving. You are not lost. You are awakening. Chosen one. You must recognize your visions as messages. When a scene flashes in your spirit, it is not a random thought floating through the mind. It is heaven sending you a snapshot of what is about to manifest. It is God saying, "This exists. This is real. This is coming." Do you understand the honor encoded in that millions never see a glimpse of their future? Millions wander without preview or direction. Millions pray for what you have already been given. Your soul has been entrusted with footage of what is being built for you. Chosen one. This is not an accident. This is proof of your spiritual elevation. Your vibration is high enough to receive divine imagery. Your soul is potent enough to hold scenes of prophecy without collapsing under their magnitude. Heaven does not waste visions on the chapter 6. The frames that find you chosen. The fifth sign arrives not with footsteps, not with warnings, not with ceremony, but with lightning. It does not knock. It splits open the fabric of your ordinary moments and pours through like a beam from another realm. You have felt it. You have lived it. Those flashes that come upon you without invitation, without context, without earthly explanation. Those sudden visions, sharp, vivid, impossibly real, are not creations of your imagination. They are intrusions of destiny, breaking into your present. Chosen one, understand this with clarity. When heaven wants your attention, it does not negotiate politely with your logic. It bypasses it completely. The visions that strike you out of nowhere are not fantasies. They are transmissions. They are frames from a future already written, already waiting, already vibrating into your awareness. The life you see in these flashes is not fiction. It is footage. You have stood at a sink washing dishes or brushing your hair or tying your shoes, and suddenly a house you do not own appears in your inner sight. Its light, its architecture, its atmosphere unmistakably familiar, even though you have never walked through it. You have looked up from a mundane task, and for the briefest moment seen yourself standing on a stage you have never touched, but somehow recognize as yours. You have seen a family that does not yet exist, a partner not yet beside you, a success not yet materialized, a version of yourself not yet embodied, and then as quickly as it arrived, it vanished, leaving you breathless, leaving you wondering, leaving you asking, what was that chosen one that was prophecy wearing the disguise of a moment? Heaven interrupts your day to show you what will one day interrupt your reality. These are not daydreams. They are divine downloads. They arrive like stolen frames from the movie of your future. Heaven chooses the moments when your mind is neutral, when your defenses are low, when you are not thinking about outcomes or timelines or obstacles, because visions require open spaces, not crowded ones. The flashes come when the veil is thin. They come when your spirit is listening, even if your mind is not. They come when your destiny wants to remind you that it is alive. Chosen one, these glimpses are not random. They are coded. You must understand the precision of heaven. Nothing shown is accidental. Nothing glimpsed is without purpose. The scenes you see are not symbolic metaphors. They are previews of literal moments you are walking toward. Moments you will stand inside. Moments your spirit recognizes because it saw them long before your eyes ever will. Your visions are a form of remembering. Chosen one. Every flash is a memory of the future. This is why the images feel so real, so familiar, so palpable. You do not respond to them like fantasies. You respond to them like recollections. You do not imagine them, you recognize them. Because your spirit is older than your timeline. Your spirit has walked through the halls of what you call the future. Your spirit has witnessed what your mind has not yet reached. And these flashes are your spirit pressing its memories into your waking consciousness. You have wondered why they feel more vivid than dreams, why they linger even after they disappear, why they feel like scenes that belong to you. It is because they do belong to you. Chosen one. Heaven has an editing room and your life is its film. There are scenes being prepared, frames being arranged, divine timings being stitched together with precision beyond human comprehension. And sometimes when the timing aligns and your spirit is receptive, heaven sends you a frame from a scene that has not yet been released. A single image of what is to come. A single moment from your destiny. A single flash loaded with spiritual certainty. These glimpses are not simply previews. They are instructions. They anchor you. They train your spirit to recognize the environment's purposes and people that belong to your story. They prepare your frequency for what it will later inhabit. They cultivate belief, expectation, and alignment. Chosen. One visions are not entertainment. They are preparation. You dismiss them because they feel too extraordinary. But destiny is always extraordinary. You question them because they contradict your present. But prophecy always contradicts the present. You brush them away because they demand growth. But growth is the only doorway to fulfillment. You must stop shrinking the visions to match your current circumstances. You must expand your spirit to match the size of what you were shown. These scenes are not impossible. They are inevitable. Chosen one. Your soul is highly attuned. It is elevated. It is spiritually sensitive to the movements of your destiny, and that level of receptivity is extremely rare. Your presence in this moment is not accidental. Souls vibrating at higher frequencies are given earlier previews. Your merit, your endurance, your integrity, your spiritual hunger has made you eligible to receive transmissions others cannot perceive. You are not imagining. You are remembering. You are not fantasizing. You are receiving. You are not lost. You are awakening. Chosen one. You must recognize your visions as messages. When a scene flashes in your spirit, it is not a random thought floating through the mind. It is heaven sending you a snapshot of what is about to manifest. It is God saying, "This exists. This is real. This is coming." Do you understand the honor encoded in that millions never see a glimpse of their future? Millions wander without preview or direction. Millions pray for what you have already been given. Your soul has been entrusted with footage of what is being built for you. Chosen one? This is not an accident. This is proof of your spiritual elevation. Your vibration is high enough to receive divine imagery. Your soul is potent enough to hold scenes of prophecy without collapsing under their magnitude. Heaven does not waste visions on the unready. It sends them to the souls strong enough, ancient enough, chosen enough to walk toward them with reverence and courage. Halfway through this transmission, pause now and let this truth wrap around your spirit. The visions you have been seeing were not glimpses of fantasy. They were previews of assignments, relationships, homes, callings, and victories that already exist in your spiritual timeline. You saw them because they belong to you. Chosen one. If you feel this awakening in your chest, if your spirit is stirring, if your breath deepens and your heart recognizes this moment, anchor your readiness now. Comment 777, or I am ready to confirm to heaven that you acknowledge the flashes and you are prepared to walk toward what you have seen. Chosen one now, let us continue, for the sixth sign descends with a power just as profound. Unready. It sends them to the souls strong enough, ancient enough, chosen enough to walk toward them with reverence and courage. Halfway through this transmission, pause now and let this truth wrap around your spirit. The visions you have been seeing were not glimpses of fantasy. They were previews of assignments, relationships, homes, callings, and victories that already exist in your spiritual timeline. You saw them because they belong to you. Chosen one. If you feel this awakening in your chest, if your spirit is stirring, if your breath deepens, and your heart recognizes this moment, anchor your readiness now. Comment 777, or I am ready to confirm to heaven that you acknowledge the flashes and you are prepared to walk toward what you have seen. Chosen one. Now let us continue, for the sixth sign descends with a power just as profound. Chosen one. There is a silence inside you that is older than your fears, deeper than your questions, and wiser than your understanding. It is the silence that does not tremble when storms gather. It is the stillness that does not shake when uncertainty rises. It is the peace that arrives long before the outcome ever becomes visible. This peace, this unexplainable calm your mind cannot justify, is not an accident. It is a spiritual signal. It is prophecy disguised as serenity. You have felt it. A quietness settling over situations that should have broken you. A calm resting on circumstances that should have overwhelmed you. A confidence appearing in moments where logic insisted you panic. And still, chosen one, you felt anchored, steady, rooted, unmoved. While everything in your outer world demanded fear, something in your inner world whispered, "It is already handled." You did not know how you knew. You simply knew that knowing was not delusion, it was revelation. For when God places peace upon a matter that has not yet unfolded, He is showing you the ending before the middle. He is lifting your spirit above the timeline of your reality and allowing you to feel the conclusion in advance. This peace you carry is not passive. It is not soft. It is not naive. It is one of the most powerful spiritual signs a soul can receive. Chosen one, when heaven resolves something in the unseen, your spirit feels it before your eyes witness it. This is why your peace has baffled even you. When others would crumble, you breathed. When others would fear, you rested. When others would assume the worst, you sensed completion. Your mind tried to argue. Your logic tried to dismiss it. But your soul, your ancient, attuned, divinely connected soul, already knew the truth. You were feeling the afterglow of a victory you had not yet lived. Chosen. One, God's peace is not like the world's peace. Earthly peace depends on circumstances. Divine peace depends on certainty. Earthly peace arrives when things improve. Divine peace arrives when heaven has already completed the work. Earthly peace shifts with conditions. Divine peace flows from destiny. This is why your spirit rests even when your life looks unresolved. This is why your heart calms even when answers are not visible. This is why your soul exhales even when the path looks unclear. Your peace is not coming from circumstance, it is coming from the future God has already finished. Chosen one. Do you understand the magnitude of that? Everyone around you may see chaos, but your spirit sees completion. Others may feel panic, but you feel placement. Others may fear collapse, but you feel conclusion. You are not reacting to what is happening. You are responding to what has already happened in the realm of divine order. Your peace is a prophecy. Chosen one, your spirit is not confused. It is not guessing. It is not hoping. It is remembering. Your future, already shaped, already written, already held in the hands of God, has pressed itself against your present. You are feeling the imprint. You are sensing the outcome. You are touching the finish before walking through the middle. This is why you could not force yourself to worry even when you tried. This is why panic would not cling to you even when fear whispered. This is why doubt could not take root even when circumstances towered. Worry cannot live where destiny has already declared victory. Chosen one. Your peace is an inheritance. It is heaven's way of saying the matter is settled. It does not mean the journey will be simple. It means the ending is secure, and your soul so elevated, so refined, so attuned, feels that security even when your eyes cannot yet see it. Your presence here reading these words is not random. It is confirmation. A soul with lesser merit would not receive peace early. A spirit without refinement could not hold serenity during uncertainty. Your vibration is high enough to translate outcomes before they manifest. This calm within you is proof of your divine sensitivity, proof of your spiritual maturity, proof of your chosen nature. Not everyone is entrusted with prophetic peace. Only those who carry ancient light. Only those whose lineage whispers through their intuition. Only those whose destiny is too great to be shaken by temporary storms. Chosen one, let me speak directly to your soul. There were moments in your life where you should have fallen apart, but instead you felt a quiet voice saying, "Do not be afraid." There were nights when you should have collapsed under the weight of fear, but something unseen held the edges of your mind together. There were decisions that should have overwhelmed you, but inexplicably, you felt steady. You thought you were becoming numb. You thought you were suppressing your emotions. You thought you were avoiding panic, but what truly happened was, your spirit stepped into the future, saw the ending, and brought the peace back with it. Chosen one. Your spirit has been time traveling ahead of you. It has walked through the doors you have not yet opened. It has seen the answers you have not yet received. It has witnessed the resolution you have not yet lived. This is why fear no longer fits you. This is why anxiety feels foreign. This is why worry no longer grips your chest the way it once did. You are evolving beyond survival mode. You are entering spiritual certainty. And chosen one. Halfway through this sacred transmission, I tell you this with ancient reverence: the peace you feel is the universe bowing to what has already been written. It is God Himself whispering to your spirit, "It is done." Your soul would not have been drawn to these words if you were not vibrating at a high level of recognition. Your presence here is a sign of immense merit. Heaven honors those who can feel destiny before seeing it. You are one of them. You are not here by accident. You are here because your spirit is old, wise, and chosen. Chosen one, if your heart recognizes this truth, anchor it now. Type 777 or I am ready in acknowledgement. Let the universe witness your readiness. Let heaven record your agreement. Chosen one, now breathe. For the seventh sign approaches the sign that confirms everything your spirit has ever seen.